until my well runs dry. Send all your sins all over me, baby, baby.
Hey T Squad, it's me Keisha, and I am back with part 4 of my Exposing Diddy series. Okay, so now we're about to head into the Ryan Leslie of it all. If you don't know who Ryan Leslie is, he was a super producer back in the mid 2000s. He produced a lot of hits for himself along with Cassie. He was the first person to work with Cassie in the beginning of her career before she even signed to Bad Boy, and they were in a relationship. And in Cassie's lawsuit, she even mentions her relationship with Ryan Leslie. In one part of the lawsuit, it quoted emphasizing the age and power dynamic early on in their working relationship. Mr. Combs positioned himself as a father figure and protector of Miss Ventura. By way of example, after returning to New York after a trip to Las Vegas, during which she endured a brief hospital stay, Miss Ventura, who by then was fully healthy, went out to a club with her friends. When Mr. Combs saw her out, he reprimanded her, telling her to go home and take care of herself. At the time, Miss Ventura thought that her record label was looking out for her well-being and that Mr. Combs had her best interest in mind. Mr. Combs also ensured he was intertwined with Miss Ventura's personal and social life, for instance, by inviting himself to Miss Ventura's 21st birthday party in Las Vegas. He also brought along famous musicians and producers, thereby flaunting his celebrity status and influence in front of a young, impressionable Miss Ventura. Although Mr. Combs knew that Miss Ventura was in a relationship at the time. And even though he was publicly in a relationship with Kim Porter. Now, mind you, over the years in the beginning of her being signed to Bad Boy, he knew that she was in a relationship with Ryan Leslie. I'm just going to say allegedly, even though we all know it's true. And he still was trying to push up on her. Let's listen to an interview that Ryan Leslie did with Vlad TV 13 years ago. 13 years ago, okay? Listen to what he had to say.
At the time that she signed that first deal and you guys were working together, was this a romantic relationship?
Well, it was a very personal relationship, and it was she was close to everything that I loved. You know what I mean? So music is just something that I love, and she's clearly just when two people have that much personal interaction and time, they spend that much time together, it's inevitable that a strong personal bond is going to be formed. And the type of chemistry that we had musically and personally, the relationship that we had was inevitable.
So you guys had some sort of romantic relationship during that time?
He's going in, right?
I mean, that's pretty much how you how you answer the question.
Yeah,
you're not denying the fact you had a romantic relationship.
I'll say I love Cassie. I love her. You know what I mean? And I fell in love with her. I fell in love with the music. I fell in love with her family, and everything that it took. For two young people in New York City hustling together, it was inevitable that we be in love. You know what I'm saying?
Now, at what point did sort of rift that happened to you? Because from what I understand, you don't talk to Cassie as much as you used to.
Right.
Is this true?
Yeah, that's 100% true. So,
was there a situation where a rift happened, between you two? Was it anything that you could pinpoint?
There's definitely a lot of factors, a lot of situations, a lot of nuances that I could pinpoint, but I don't feel comfortable talking about them publicly because they involve people and involve situations that, to this point, really don't have anything to do with my professional career. You know what I mean? Well, they don't have anything to do with my current professional career. So I don't feel comfortable talking about them, and I don't think any of the people involved would feel comfortable about me talking about it. So I wouldn't do it unless I could make some phone calls and say, hey, I'm on Vlad TV right now. Do you have any problem with me airing some of this stuff out? I'm sure they would probably respond and say, you know what, homie, I would have a problem with you airing some of that stuff out. But yes, I do believe that there are some specific moments, specific discussions, specific moments in time, specific disputes, specific characters that played into this, played into the dynamic change that has that went down.
Now, Cassie is still signed to you.
Yes, she's still signed the next election.
And her deal is through Puff.
Yeah.
So was there any sort of strain, the fact that she is, kind of seen with Puff a lot and they have some sort of relationship in terms of, like that sort of, triangle kind of approach where, you guys had a relationship, you're signed to Puff, she's seen out with Puff. I mean, does that create some sort of strain in your personal life?
Well, I think that as a human being, right? It's just some of these questions, like it would seem to me that they would have obvious answers. You know what I mean? Just if you were to put yourself in my position as a human being, right? And so there are definitely there were definitely those moments and instances where you question what's really going on. But for us on the outside, because even in terms of her relationship with Puff, I'm on the outside. I didn't make it a point to try to get into whatever business was going on. And we're in the entertainment industry, so our lives, we make the decision to make the choice to expose ourselves in that way. And I took a lot of that, a lot of the sentiments and a lot of my reactions to those situations, especially my reactions to my relationship with her, and went into the studio and made the best records and representations and soundtracks that allowed me as a human being to deal with that situation. You know what I mean? I think it made for some very heartfelt, real recordings, and it's actually ironic that my second single features her, because really the story behind that record is, it really was supposed to be her single.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's on the hook.
Yeah, she's on the hook.
But she wasn't in the video.
Wasn't in either video. 2 videos we made.
Right. Well, why is that?
I wish you could tell me the answer to that one.
Mind you, this interview took place 13 years ago. So let's go back 13 years ago. Ryan Leslie is this new up-and-coming producer that everybody's talking about. He put Cassie on the map along with himself on the map. And then, they do this co-deal between his record label, Next Selection, and Bad Boy Epic, okay? And as we know, while they were in a relationship, Puffy is slowly but surely moving in on Cassie, and then got her to the point where she was under his thumb, and that caused the demise of her relationship with Ryan Leslie. And you can tell in this interview 13 years ago that Ryan was speaking in code a lot. He was being very careful with the things that he said because Puffy was Puffy. He could literally decimate somebody like Ryan Leslie. And look at where Ryan Leslie is now. We haven't heard anything from him literally since like 13 years ago. Remember when his laptop got stolen? And, he was a very smart guy. I believe he went to Harvard or one of those elite schools. So he's doing very well. A podcast that I listened to, The Friend Zone, Hey Friend, Hey, one of the podcasters on that show lived in the same building as him. So he's still doing very well for himself. He's just not in the music industry anymore from what I know. But it seemed to me like he kind of got pushed out now that we know everything that we know about the Diddy Cassie situation. it seems to me like he got pushed out of the industry, very much so, you know. And I think that he probably saw how, you know, things were going down, you know, all the behind the scenes stuff, and he probably wanted to be out of it at that point. But if you listen to what he said towards the beginning of the interview, when he was talking about Cassie and how certain people wouldn't want him to discuss certain things, and how he didn't know why Cassie wasn't allowed to be in his music videos, even though they're not together anymore at that time, and all of these different things, you know that he was speaking in code around the whole Diddy situation. Now, mind you, I think that both of them are honestly disgusting, because he didn't have any business dating Cassie either. He's 7 years older than Cassie. When Cassie signed to Bad Boy, she was 19. So just think about the fact of when her and Ryan could have possibly started working together. She had to have been 17, 18 years old. So but didn't have no business dating her either. But her parents knew, and it seemed like her parents was okay with it. It seemed like her parents failed her in a lot of different areas. So yeah, neither one of y'all should have been dating her. Neither one of y'all. But this is just another instance to show the power and dominance that Diddy has had on the industry, and his influence and the shady moves that he made. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this Ryan Leslie interview from 13 years ago. Let's talk about it all down below in the comment section. You guys make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.